when you have proportional word problems, certain phrases keep showing up. The words "at this rate" is a key word, or sometimes "while" is a word. While this happens, another thing happens. It doesn't have to show up, but occasionally it is. And I say line up the units either vertically or horizontally. In the last couple of examples, the units were lined up automatically for us because the triangles were set up in the same position side by side. In this next problem here, it says Tim takes his pulse for 10 seconds and counts 12 beats. Well, I'm going to say that 10 seconds matches up with 12 beats. How many beats per minute is this? How many beats? That's going to be x beats per minute, and that minute is 60 seconds. Notice I need the same word seconds here, not switching from seconds to minutes. Also, I lined up the word beats accordingly. The second sentence wrote the word beat before the word minute, and if I had read it and just gone beats over minute, then I'd have everything kind of messed up, and a very common mistake is to have the second fraction flipped over. Now that I have the units in here, I can ignore the words for the time being, multiplying through by the least common denominator of 12x. On the left, the 12's cancel, leaving 10x. And on the right, the x's cancel, leaving 60 times 12, which is 720. Dividing each side by 10, we get 72 beats per minute, which I'll abbreviate BPM. Now, when I originally set up this problem, I wrote 10 seconds for 12 beats. Had I wanted to write it as 10 seconds matches up with 12 beats that way, and then said x beats match up with 60 seconds in this format, I'm still going to have the same fraction. It doesn't matter how it's written. Well, it does matter how it's written, but notice as long as the units are lined up, we're good. When I cross multiply in the second one, I get 10x on one diagonal and 720 on the other, as I had in the problem above. So your choice on how you want to line them up, as long, or set it up, as long as the units are lined up. Now, that problem did not say at this rate, but we could have inserted at this rate, how many beats per minute is this? Now, a map problem is a very typical type of problem involving proportions, because you have something on a small scale and something on a large scale that it represents that are supposed to be in proportion to each other if the map is drawn correctly. So I'm going to say that 75 miles matches with 1 inch. If two cities are 3.5 inches apart, notice what I've done there. I've lined up the word inches. How many miles, x miles, does that represent? Multiplying through by 3.5 on each side, we're able to cancel out those denominators. On the left, we're going to have 75 times 3.5, and on the right the 3.5s are going to cancel and we're going to get x. Now all we have to do is multiply these two, and I don't have that number already figured out, but it's okay to do some multiplication by hand every once in a while. 5 times 5 is 25, carry the 2, 35 plus 2 is 37, put our 0 down there. 3 times 5 is 15, carry the 1, 21 plus 1 is 22. We get 5, 2, carry our 1, 6. 262.5 miles would be the actual distance.